Today, our topic is the power of negative visualization. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes it feels like the world is against us. But what if I told you that there is a way to prepare for these challenges, to face them with courage and calm, and to find peace even in the hardest times? This is where the power of negative visualization comes in. Negative visualization is a practice from Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to live a good life. It sounds strange at first, because it involves thinking about bad things that could happen. But this practice has a deep purpose. By imagining the worst-case scenarios, we can prepare ourselves mentally and emotionally, and we can also learn to appreciate what we have right now. Let me explain this idea in more detail. Imagine you are walking on a tightrope. If you only think about the possibility of falling, you might feel scared and lose your balance. But if you prepare yourself for the possibility of falling, if you think about how you would react and what you would do, you will feel more confident and in control. Negative visualization works in a similar way. It is not about being negative or pessimistic. It is about being realistic and ready. The Stoics believe that by imagining the worst, we can reduce our fear of it and find strength to face it. For example, if you are worried about losing your job, you can think about what you would do if it happened. You can make a plan, save money, or learn new skills. By doing this, you are not only preparing for a difficult situation, but also reducing your fear of it. Another benefit of negative visualization is that it helps us appreciate what we have. We often take things for granted: our health, our relationships, our jobs. We only realize their value when we lose them. But if we imagine losing these things, even for a moment, we can feel grateful for them. Gratitude is a powerful emotion. It can make us happier and more content with our lives. For example, if you imagine losing your loved ones, even though it is painful, you will feel more grateful for the time you have with them. You will appreciate their presence and treat them with more kindness and love. This is the power of negative visualization. It makes us see the value of what we have and helps us live more fully in the present moment. Now, let's talk about how to practice negative visualization. It is simple, but it requires some effort and consistency. First, choose a quiet time and place where you can think without distractions. Close your eyes and imagine a situation that worries you or something you are afraid of losing. For example, imagine losing your job, your health, or a loved one. Try to feel the emotions that come with this lostness, fear, or anxiety. It might be uncomfortable, but stay with these feelings for a few moments. Then, think about how you would cope with this situation. What steps would you take? Who would you turn to for help? How would you find strength to move forward? By doing this, you are training your mind to face challenges with calm and courage. Another way to practice negative visualization is to think about the impermanence of life. Everything in life is temporary possessions, our relationships, even our own lives. This might sound depressing, but it can also be liberating. If we accept that nothing lasts forever, we can let go of our attachment to things and focus on what truly matters. For example, if you imagine losing your favorite possessions, you might realize that they are not as important as your relationships or your inner peace. This realization can help you live a simpler and more meaningful life. It can also reduce your fear of loss, because you understand that loss is a natural part of life. Negative visualization also helps us deal with failure. Many of us are afraid of failing because we think it will make us look weak or incompetent. But failure is a part of growth. Every successful person has failed many times before achieving their goals. If you imagine failing at something important to you, like a project or a relationship, you can prepare yourself for the possibility and learn from it. You can ask yourself, what would I do if I failed? How would I recover? What lessons would I learn? By answering these questions, you are building resilience and confidence. You are telling yourself that failure is not the end. It is just a step on the path to success. One of the most important lessons of negative visualization is that we cannot control everything in life. The Stoics believed in focusing on what we can control and accepting what we cannot. For example, we cannot control the weather, the actions of other people, or the outcome of certain events. But we can control our thoughts, our actions, and our reactions. By practicing negative visualization, we train ourselves to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. This mindset can bring us peace and freedom. It helps us stop worrying about things that are beyond our control and focus on what we can do to improve our lives. Negative visualization also teaches us humility. In our modern world, we often think that we are invincible. We believe that we can achieve anything if we work hard enough. While hard work is important, it is also important to recognize our limitations. We are not perfect, and we cannot control everything. By imagining the worst-case scenarios, we remind ourselves of our vulnerabilities. This does not mean that we should feel weak or helpless. It means that we should be realistic and humble. Humility is a strength because it helps us stay grounded and open to learning. It also helps us connect with others because we realize that we are all human and we all face challenges. Finally, negative visualization can help us find meaning in life. When we imagine losing the things we value, we realize what truly matters to us. For some people, it might be their family and friends. For others, it might be their passion or their purpose. By understanding what matters most, we can align our actions with our values and live a more meaningful life. For example, if you imagine losing your job and realize that your family is more important, you might decide to spend more time with them and prioritize their well-being. This shift in perspective can bring more joy and fulfillment to your life. In conclusion, the power of negative visualization lies in its ability to prepare us for challenges, help us appreciate what we have, and guide us toward a more meaningful and resilient life. It is not about being negative or pessimistic. It is about being realistic and ready. By imagining the worst-case scenarios, we can reduce our fear, build our strength, and find peace in the present moment. Life is unpredictable, and we cannot control everything, but we can control how we respond to it. Negative visualization is a tool that helps us face life's challenges with courage, gratitude, and humility. So, take a moment today to practice negative visualization. Think about what you fear losing. Imagine how you would cope, and feel grateful for what you have. This simple practice can transform your mindset and help you live a more fulfilling and resilient life.